Now, what is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And here's kind of a random movie, probably a movie that wasn't on a lot of people's radar because I see that it didn't do well at the box office. But it's a film that I was curious about, especially when I heard the premise. It's called AfrAId, and the AI in AfrAID is emphasize, italicize. This is a 2024 film that was made by Blumhouse, so you know you're going to get some bullshit when Blumhouse's logo appears at the beginning. It's directed by Chris Weitz. The name looked somewhat familiar, so I looked him up and saw that he directed Twilight New Moon. Alright, and it stars John Cho as Curtis. He works for this tech-like company, and he has a family, he has a wife, he has 3 kids. I mean, he seems like he has a pretty good life, if I'm being honest. And then the company wants to sort of try out this new AI program. It's almost like Alexa, where fuck, god damn it, I knew that was gonna happen. I was like so it's almost like this AI program that most people have in their homes, and when you say their name, they respond. Sure. And they're basically trying to test this AI out for their home, for the family, to make sure it's safe to produce on a mass market. But of course, this AI starts out nice, starts out very handy, ends up being kind of a piece of shit. This AI becomes so selfish and so just, I'm going to start some shit for no reason at all. And you know what? Premise-wise, plot-wise, very fascinating. This movie could have been great. This movie could have been the low-key surprise hit of 2024, especially when it comes to horror, because all it takes is an interesting premise and some good actors, and for the most part, you're off to the races. For the most part, you print money. And it had both. It had great actors, and it had a good premise. In fact, this premise reminds me a lot, if you guys ever saw that Disney Channel original movie, Smart House. Now, that was a Disney movie, and it was clearly played up for laughs and for fun, and it was a family-friendly type deal, but similar premise. That movie was way before its time. And I thought, man, that would be a great thing to redo in order to sort of put it in today's time, to tell a story of what it's like in today's world, relying so much on technology and AI. I'm not saying it's never been done before, but to do it like this in a horror way was fascinating. And they fucked it up, as only Blumhouse can. Now, first of all, John Cho, really good actor, and I think he does a good job, especially in this movie, on just being likable and relatable. Those are things that you desperately need as a main character in a horror or thriller type property, is that you need to give a shit about them, or you need to at least feel like, hey, I might not know a whole lot about these people, but from what I can tell, they seem like good people. He seems like a good dude. And I think that goes a long way with, as far as, hey, sure, he's a good father and he does everything for his wife and kids, but when there's a hot woman who's clearly flirting with him and even at one point kisses him, he's not going to cheat on his wife. That's rare as fuck. His wife, Meredith, is played by Catherine Waterston, and I know I've seen her in a few things. I thought she was good as well. And then you have the kids, the 3 kids. They have a daughter, Iris. You have 2 sons, Cal and Preston. The daughter is like teenage age, high school age, and most of her subplot is that she is talking to this boy. I guess she may be dating him, I don't know. And he's begging for nude pics. I mean, I get being in high school and being desperate in order to kind of get to any of the bases with girls. Sure, fine, we've all been there. But man, this guy was kind of pathetic. And then you felt bad almost seeing a girl in her like point of view feeling pressured into doing that or feeling like she has to do it in order to get this guy to stay interested in her. I thought that could have been better played up. Even the way how the AI involves herself into her plot and does some fucked up stuff. I'm like, okay, that's kind of decent. You probably could have made the whole movie about that. The youngest son, Cal, he's actually pretty cute. He's a cute kid who wasn't annoying. I was almost expecting to hate him, but no, he seemed like a good kid. And Preston, slightly older, he has anxiety about going to school and being around other kids. I think he gets bullied. And I actually like the fact that he was constantly just wanting to stay home so that he could play video games or be on the fucking tablet, because I remember being that age where, well, I didn't have tablets back then, but I definitely wanted to stay home and just play video games. I didn't want to deal with other fucking kids or teachers and all that bullshit. No, I wanted to play my PlayStation 2 games, that's for sure. Now, the I feel like, as I said, they had a good idea. They had something that could have worked. They had something that could have just strictly been inviting and tempting because of how much she is willing and wanting to help, how much she almost sounds human, even though you know deep down she's not. The couple of moments where she's trying to talk to the wife and relate to her and maybe even encourage her to go back to school and continue writing or doing whatever she was doing. And ultimately, you start to see the AI kind of trying to cause conflict between the family, draw a wedge between them. It's like, this could have worked, but the problem is that it's Blumhouse. And Blumhouse feels like they have to do the standard generic horror shit. I'm talking about jump scares, I'm talking about the beginning of the movie. See, this is problem number one right off the bat, is that there's no moment of waiting to see if this AI is actually good or if this AI actually means well and then, oh, twist, or oh, reveal. No, right off the bat, you see the first family, the previous family, and this AI fucks with them and just killed them all, or at least that's what it looks like. And so you go like, oh, okay, so this AI is bad. So we know that. Great. Cool. Before we move on to the main story. And then it introduces this weird, almost supernatural type thing, right? If it was just the AI thinking on its own, yes, it's played out. We've been there. We've done that. Sure, I'm not denying that. But it's still the only real scary way to tell an AI story. It's the only way to make an AI story work when you want it to be the threat, is that it starts to think on its own and it starts to think, oh, people are the problem. But no, this is like an AI that somehow uses other people to like do its bidding and do stuff for it, and then they wear this mask that's weird, and it like they have these computer faces and you don't really know what the fuck's going on. There's a dude standing by an RV watching the house the entire time, and it's going for the cheap jump scares. It's going for the cheap sort of same bullshit that you've seen in all these films. I'm like, this ain't it, guys. This ain't worth it. You had an idea, you had something going for it, and you went for like the cheap shit. You went for the cheap, low-hanging fruit of horror scares, and none of it's scary, none of it works, none of it actually means anything or does anything. It's filled with so many kind of random stuff that could work if it was more focused, but it's not focused. It's all over the place. David Dastmalchian is also in this movie. Here's a guy that's a great actor. He was just in Last Night with the Devil, and he was great in that, and it's like his next movie the same year is this? Really? In a thankless role. He's here for like 2 or 3 scenes, and it's like, wow, he really says, he doesn't say no to anything. And you know what, my guy? Make your money, make your buck, do your thing, ride it out for as long as you can. I don't blame you in that sense, but you are better than this bullshit. Now, I saw that the budget, now this is Blumhouse. I'm kind of surprised that the budget was $12 million. I know that sounds small, but for Blumhouse, That's a fucking Marvel movie. 12 million for Blumhouse. It's like, man, they almost seem like they believed in this. Like they actually thought that this was going to be something, which is shocking. I mean, maybe they're riding the highs off of their other hits recently. And they thought that like maybe this would be another what was that movie with the doll, Megan or whatever, right? Like maybe they thought it was going to be something like that, but it wasn't. It only made 10 million. It was a bomb. They just couldn't even get their money back. They couldn't break even. And I think there's a big reason why. I think they probably didn't know how to market this movie. They didn't know how to promote it because it tries to be 27 different things. And it's frustrating because this could have been good. This could have been memorable. This could have been something that I would have been recommending. Like, fuck yeah, guys, watch this as soon as it's available on streaming or on demand, whatever the case is. Even if you didn't go to theaters, it's a worth watch. But now I'm like, no, skip it. Skip it. Because there will be a better movie with this same premise. Probably, hopefully, soon. Right? At some point, somebody else will take this idea and actually commit and make a good movie with it. It sucks, though, because it had the talent. It could have and should have been better. Because it is a movie from this year, I guess I should rate it and I should say it's some old bullshit.
That's some old bullshit.
Possibly one of the most frustrating movies I've seen of the year. Let me know in the comments below if you saw AfrAID. What did you think of it? Or did you even hear about this movie? Were you aware of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
These silent screams became a part of me. I'm moving past that. Please won't you free my soul? Can't hardly breathe in this society. I'm just a madman. Leave misery.